Essential question. How do I find features? Of quadratic functions. Today we'll do a little bit with your graphing calculator. So if you don't have it, make sure you go get it. In this class, we talked about two forms of quadratic. We talked about standard form and we talked about, what's this one called? Vertex form. And remember, the vertex is HK. We find the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a. And then so that's x equals negative b over 2a. Plug in x to get y. Please stay with me because I'm going to try and go through this part fast. Or use vertex form. And it'll be HK. So if it's in vertex form, you're obviously not using the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry by hand is x equals negative b over 2a, which is the x value of the vertex. Later, we are going to plug the equation into y equals. You're going to go second, trace, and then you're going to do minimum, maximum. Then you'll have to do the left bound, right bound, enter. We'll do that together. So we just wrote down how to find the vertex. Whatever the x value is your axis of symmetry, because remember, your axis of symmetry goes through the vertex. Okay, coefficients and how they affect the graph. We mainly just talked about the a value and the c value. The a value affects the width. Oh, sorry, let's start with this. If a is greater than 0, it opens up. If a is less than 0, it opens down. A also affects the width. What happens if it's an a value? So the absolute value of a is greater than 1. What happens? Does it get, I don't know if it gets taller or like wider, Emma? So like, yeah, we'll say thinner or narrower. If the absolute value of a is less than 1, then it gets wider, right? So this is, make this more clear. I'll give you a vertical translation. And it's the y-intercept if we're in standard form. Domain is x values. I'll say all possible. Range is all the possible y values. Axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. Go ahead and find it. If you want to do it by yourself, go ahead. That would be negative b would be positive 2, change the sign, over 2 times 1. So my axis of symmetry is 1. X is equal to 1. Please write it like that. X equals 1. It's an equation of a line. It would go right here. You don't have to draw it in, but you can. So it should be symmetrical around that. And then to find our vertex, remember we plug back in. Plug in x to get y. So y is equal to 1 squared, use parentheses, minus 2 in parentheses 1 plus 3. So that's 1 minus 2 plus 3, which is 2. So my vertex is 1, 2. Okay, so that one worked out nicely. But if it didn't, then you would be in good shape because you wouldn't necessarily see it on your table. So now let's go ahead and practice using the graphing calculator if you could grab it. I would put a spot here for writing down your table. So we're going to write down the table that we see. Obviously, our vertex should go in the middle. 1, 2. Let's get a few more values, though. We want at least 5 points, probably. Okay, let's go ahead and graph it, and then we'll write down the remaining parts. So my vertex is at 1, 2, and then go ahead and graph your other points. They are symmetrical around the axis of symmetry. Okay, without looking at the graph, how would we know our y-intercept? Bella? Right, so this is my y-intercept, 0, 3. Okay, let's write down our domain. Could someone please tell me my domain? Aaron? Yep, so you can do it like this. If on the EOC they want interval notation, you could do this, negative infinity to positive infinity, in parentheses like that. What else could I write? Emma?
Negative infinity is less than x, which is less than infinity.
Great. So any of those will work. And then the range. What's my range? All the possible y values. Luke, what's my range?
The range is y is greater than or equal to 1. I mean, 2.
2.
Yeah, and less than.
So if you guys just do this, that's enough. But if you also say it's less than infinity, that's good. So I should probably write it. You could write it like this: 2 y values greater than or equal to 2. And you'll notice on Math Excel sometimes it wants you to just do it like that. It's a little bit simpler. It implies that it goes to infinity, right? Because it's all the y values greater than or equal to 2. And then the transformation, yes, there is, because your c value is 3. You need to be using these words: translation, up 3. You need to know h of t, the height, is a function of time, equals negative 16t squared plus vt plus h naught, which remember is your starting height. The maximum is going to be at the vertex, right? Remember, time is the x, height is the y. So if I'm asking the maximum height, you tell me. If I ask, like, when did it reach its max height, use x. If it says when it'll hit the ground, what should I do? When will it hit the ground? What am I looking for? Nancy? Great. And what am I solving for, Nancy? What do we? Yeah, you're going to solve for t. What is that on the graph? Do you remember? And these are the x-intercepts. Good. Have other names for that. If they say roots, zeros, solutions, you might see those names as well. Okay. Those 5 that we talked about, factoring, quadratic formula, I'm just going to say etc. Any of those are great. Okay, graphing calculator though, because we're about to do that. So you put your equation in, obviously. They're going to do second trace, and then you're going to do the zeros. And you have to do each one separately. Equation?
H of t equals negative 16t squared plus 160t plus 16.
Do you guys agree? Me too. Okay. So after how many seconds will the rocket be at its maximum height? You could do this by hand. You could also do it with the vertex, right? So maximum height, what am I, not the vertex, with your graphing calculator. We're doing maximum height, we want the vertex. So let's go ahead and do this with the calculator. Why not?
16 and it took 5 seconds. 416.
That wasn't that fun.
Okay, since you already have your graph there, now go ahead and find how long it'll take for it to hit the ground. We want it where h is equal to 0, so we are finding our x-intercepts. So how long? It took 10.1 seconds.